Have I got an update for you guys? Oh my gosh. Okay, hi, this is Michelle Patterson with Angel Souls. You might have seen the video I did almost a year ago now on the NOOM app, which is a wellness app that, helps with managing your weight. Let's put it that way. Last year, I was initially enjoying the NOOM app, and I told everybody on my social media, hey, I'm loving this. And then I started running into a few problems. And as I tried to remedy those problems, things in my perception back then seemed to get worse and worse and worse. It was very triggering for me, partly because, darn it, there are no weight loss things that ever work, right? Or I've been taken by businesses before, and they're going to be just like every other business. And so to protect my audience and to protect my own reputation, because I had, put it out there that I was liking it, I made this video expecting only like maybe 700 people who would have had interest from my channel, because my channel is a spiritual channel. I don't typically, do reviews like that, right? I went ahead and made the video thinking only about 700 people were going to see it, and hundreds of thousands of people ended up seeing it. And I was shocked by that, of course. And the comments, your comments, I need to make sure you hear this, all right? You have been heard. Oh yes, you have been heard. You're not going to believe how this turned around. This is the craziest story ever, and I'm going to give it to you right now. So what happened after I put that review video up, I started getting contacted by the company, and I don't know, I guess I'm kind of a hard one, because I'm not hearing what I need to hear in order to go in, right? And to even talk about this. And there were efforts to make things right as time went on. And then everything just kind of smoothed out for a little bit. I let it go, what have you. And then I was contacted by a man named Andreas, who really was interested. And I could tell in his communication, sorry, there's a car alarm going off. I could tell in his communication that he really cared. And it threw me. It threw me. And as a matter of fact, I think my defenses went up even more. And I really tested him. I really did. And he was genuinely concerned and genuinely wanting to talk to me to help improve things. And even when I heard that, I was still suspicious. Like, yeah, right. You just saying that, so blah, blah, blah. And when I finally did sit down with Andreas and I started talking to him, I realized, no, these are people, like they're real people, number one. And when I say you've been heard, they are watching the comments on that video. I am watching the comments on that video, and I'll explain that here in a little bit as well. But there was this genuine want to do a good job. And I could see it. I could actually see it. And then Andreas said, well, why don't you try the app again, and you can help us improve, and you can give us some feedback. And I was like, wait, what? You want me to do what now? Okay, really? Because I was that girl that made that one video. I have like these nightmares that like maybe the people at NOOM watched my video on like a big screen TV in a boardroom or something. Nobody needs to be that big, okay? If you're watching this on a TV, be kind, okay? Nobody needs to see a YouTuber all blown up on a screen, right? So anyway, getting back to the people at NOOM, I could see that they genuinely cared. And so I thought, okay, all right, well, let's get into this here. Let me use the app again. And I have my notes here. I also have, like I did in the first video, I have my receipts. So I have been working with Christina and Andreas. I'm going to put a picture of them in here. You guys, they took this selfie just for us, okay? To show you guys, these are real people. And as I've come to learn, I'm seeing how much they care. I mean, really. And I have all my notes here. And I'm going to run down everything that they have been working on and how things have changed. And I'm going to give you my honest feedback, having used the app again, what I discovered, okay? So the first problem initially was that, and I've heard this from a lot of you as well, we're all watching the comments, so please do not hesitate if you still have concerns, or you still feel like, I don't know about this experience or that experience, or what's it like doing this, that, or the other, what is their philosophy on things, leave your comment down below. We will make sure that it gets to the right people, all right? So there you go. That's something right there, right? So the coaches, there was this feeling that the coaches were very robotic. And essentially, if I understand this correctly, I think what was going on was that NOOM started to grow a lot faster than they had anticipated. And so it sounded like they didn't have that many coaches to meet the unexpected demand. And what Andreas shared with me as well is that their people matter to them. And I thought this was a very interesting point. Their people matter very much to them. So they don't want to do this thing where they hire a bunch of coaches just to not have work for them. Okay? Their coaches are real people. They have benefits, all of this stuff. So they're really looking out for their employees. Okay? And I like that. I like that they're taking care, and yeah, they might still have, they're trying to meet the demand, right? They have that challenge going on, but they're still looking out for the people that they hire. And they have the strictest standards for when they hire a coach. Here's what I experienced when I went into the app. I've had a couple of other coaches since then. The first coach before, was the first review video was based on, that coach, as I said in that video, didn't feel real. It felt like auto responses, and now I kind of understand, that, I don't know, like that coach maybe had other people they had to take care of or what have you. But then I got another coach, okay? And I'm watching this, and I realize these coaches, they have things, they have a job to do, right? So they have to kind of tie you back into making sure you understand the articles. They have to give you prompts to help you think, and so you can kind of awaken to a different perspective, all of that. So some of the coaches, or at least the one that I had, not the most recent one I have now, but the one before that, I think what that coach was doing was just making sure that all bases were covered. On my end, I'm going, That's still a little too robotic, okay? She was better. She would incorporate some personal things as well. But we have talked about that. Christina and I have talked about that extensively now in several meetings where, I'm like, here's what works, and this is what I know you guys are trying to accomplish here, but here's what maybe a consumer is going to want as well. Like we understand that you're trying to do a job here, but we need to feel like you're a person. We need to know that you heard us, right? That, especially in something like this, when you're trying to turn your life around with wellness and those kinds of things, you need to feel heard. And you guys, I have struggled with my weight my entire life. I went on my first diet at the age of 5. No joke. My pediatrician, who used to smoke, it was the early 80s. I'm dating myself, but he would smoke while I'm in my appointment, and he himself was really huge, but insisted that I was too, what was the word he used? Heavy set, I think. I don't think he used the word husky, because I would have knocked that cigarette, 5 years old, I would have knocked that cigarette right out of his face. Forget it, don't call me husky. That's like what boys are called or whatever. But I think I was called heavy set, and so I had to go on my first diet when I was 5. It might be why I'm only 5'2", who knows? But, if you're somebody who has dealt with your weight your entire life, dealing with the stigma, dealing with the judgment, people not understanding where that comes from, your defenses are going to be up. And especially if you're getting with a coach and you're hoping this coach will see you as a person, because sometimes the world doesn't. That's not a victim thing. That's real. Let me say it again. Sometimes you want to be seen as a person because the world doesn't see you as a person. They see you as a problem. They see you as, walking emotional baggage or something, right? So when I sat down with Christina, we were talking about that. And Christina is really great at really paying attention and implementing, or going to the team and everybody's implementing some of the things that have come up. So I noticed now with my new coach, she's phenomenal. As a matter of fact, we joke back and forth. I was at the zoo the other day. I was sending her pictures from the zoo. So she's still doing her job where she's asking the question. She's, bringing things back to the article. She's doing what I'm guessing what their science has maybe figured out that this works in a coaching kind of environment. If you ask these questions or get the person to think this way, or not to think this way, but to think about something outside of how they normally see things and shake it up for them, that this will help them retrain their brain kind of thing, or, you know, develop healthier habits, that sort of thing. So balancing that with being a real person. Okay. And so it feels like I'm talking to a friend. I am in no way, shape, or form saying that these coaches need to be your bestie, right? They don't need to sit there and listen to all your problems necessarily, but it's nice to be heard. It's nice to be seen as a human being. Along the coach note, they have doubled their team. They have doubled their team of coaches since my review video went up. So, and I personally have noticed, you know, that my coach is very responsive. Like, she's actually more responsive than I would have anticipated, right? And she's always got me thinking. She's always got me questioning myself and taking a pause and looking at things. And I, again, because I've been on a diet, continuous diet since 1982, again, dating myself. But, you know, you get a little jaded after a while. You get a little, you know, a little salty about it, I think. It's like, yeah, whatever. I've heard this a million times. I could teach a course on nutrition. I could teach a course about exercise. I got it, okay? Right? But the missing element usually, again, is being heard, and the psychological part of it, which NOOM is getting in there and nailing it, right? They're coming in and making these changes. So the coaching team, yes, they're real. They're real people. As a matter of fact, we'll see how it goes, but we were lightly discussing like maybe bringing some of the coaches on this channel so you guys can actually see that they're real people. But yeah, so now they're not stretched so thin. And we have to give a little bit more consideration that there are human beings at NOOM trying to run a business as well. So the next thing that I saw a huge improvement in was the cancellation process. Okay, so this was when I canceled because I had to, you know, test it. So I canceled, and I signed up through the website. So when I went in and then I tried to cancel later, there was a link. It was super easy. I clicked on it. I got a confirmation saying it's all good. You're all canceled. You're not going to be billed again. However, if you sign up through the app, okay, you still are going through, like, for example, Apple. You're going to have to go through your Apple ID and cancel your subscription through that because you went through the app, okay? So just to make that distinction, they have made a lot of changes, but as I didn't understand in the first video, there were some things, especially when it comes to going through an app store kind of thing where they don't have control over it. You know, you're still going to have to take that extra step. But they have made, like I said, like a complete turnaround if you end up going through the website. So keep that in mind. The other thing that I was really impressed by is that when I was having meetings with the people at NOOM, I was hearing a lot of what can we offer people? What will make them feel very, very comfortable? And this was shocking to me. You know, again, I think a lot of us think, oh, a business doesn't really care about the people. They care about the people. And that's why I was so excited to sit down and do this video, because it had such a weird turnaround. And it's not just a nice story that a company actually came forward and was interested in listening to people's feedback and making changes, but it's a nice human story as well. I didn't think that I was going to like Andreas and Christina so much, but I really look forward to having my meetings with them, touching base with them. And as you see, they're real people, right? But I just love the human turnabout, you know, like the human story behind this. And you guys know I'm a spiritual channel, so I'm all about those nice connections. So something that was seemingly so negative, right, and stressful back then. It was very, very stressful, and I'm sure it was very, very stressful for the people at NOOM as well. You can find resolution. You can come together and compromise and find a way forward. They are still working incredibly hard to make other changes, but please, you know, I want to put it out there to all of you. If there are things about the app that you still feel could use some improving, or things that don't make sense to you, leave them in the comments down below. Please share this video, because I want everybody to have that chance. If you saw that first original NOOM app review video, here's your chance. Okay, they're open, they're willing. I'm in here helping as well through my YouTube channel, and maybe we could really get all this together, and maybe some of you could really benefit from it. But like I said, they're still making changes, and they care. And that's what I want to leave you with. And the most shocking thing that I learned throughout this whole process is that they care. and that not everything has to remain negative. There can be a middle ground. There can be a change of the energy around it. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what other positive things come out of this. So we're going to leave it there. I think that's all the talking points that I had in my notes, at least for this video. Of course, I can keep you updated later on as more and more changes occur. So finally, as I've said before, leave your comments down below. I am sending you all so much love, and take care.